101 here. Today we'll be taking a look into a winter storm threat across from parts of the plains all the way into the Ohio Valley. Plus, with this system here, we're going to have some severe weather to talk about across parts of the Tennessee Valley and some of the Gulf Coast states. Now we're going to get started with the European model here. So we're going to be starting off 7 a.m. on Sunday. We do have snow currently going on, not right now, but snow across parts of Missouri and Kansas here. You can see there's a little bit of a weak low just south of that, and that's just a wave of moisture coming in. And it's going to be training snow. So for people that live in Kentucky, even southern Indiana, southern Illinois, you got to really pay attention to the forecast, because the forecast at this point here looks to be very confusing in 48 hours. There's going to be 2 seasons in 48 hours, which is kind of ridiculous. So for places like Illinois, Indiana, and Kentucky, you will start off as snow, but when the low pressure system gets closer, all that wintry stuff will move north. As you can see here, we do have a line of thunderstorms there from Arkansas to Tennessee. This is when the severe weather threat starts to begin. Eventually, that warm front will start to pass like Memphis and Nashville. Your low pressure system will be over Texas, Louisiana. This thing here will be moving quickly northeast here. You can see here, there it goes, it pops up. You can see here, scattered to numerous thunderstorms south end of that low. You can see it continues to the northeast there. Now, where I'm looking into this here, if you're in a warm sector, you're going to be about in the 60s, but if you're in a cooler sector, like north of the low pressure, you're going to be near freezing. So there's just going to be some uncertainties with this system here, where it's just stuff we got to keep an eye on. And there it goes, that it moves out. Let's take a look at the thunderstorms. This is a nice tool to have. So this indicates the amount of thunderstorms could be in the area. You can see here, pretty widespread from Texas all the way up into Kentucky there. If you're like in southern Kentucky or parts of Tennessee, you probably will at least see a strong storm threat. But the GFS does have a different solution to this here. Let's take a look at those snowfall amounts here. Like I said, if you're in southern Illinois, southern Indiana, and Kentucky, you might be able to start off with maybe up to 4 or 5 inches of snow to start off with. But unfortunately, when you get to the warm sector, when that warm front starts to get really close, unfortunately, this snow will start to melt, and you get some rain. As you can see, here's some pockets. They're up to 4 inches. If we go back here to Missouri and Kansas, you can see some decent amounts from 3 to 5 inches there. Now, I'll show you the GFS here. You can see here, the winter storm threat is further north, with snowfall amounts up to 10 inches. Now, just a fair warning that the GFS has not been doing good for a past couple of snow events. So this is an unlikely solution to this. I don't think this is really going to happen. I just believe it's too far north, and I think it'd be a little bit further south. Probably for like central Missouri, southern Illinois, central Indiana, and central Ohio. Probably need to keep an eye on this, even including Kansas as well. I have a map for you that I'll show you guys in a moment. But let's look at the GFS here with precipitation. So we're going to move over to the eastern United States so we can have so y'all can see a little bit better. You can even see the counties with this, if it can load. We've been having some internet issues lately, so I do apologize for that. So here you go. So this is about 6 hours from now, or from the 12Z run, which is about around 11 o'clock in the morning Eastern Standard Time. So we do have some snow across parts of Minnesota, Michigan, and Wisconsin there. A system does develop for the Gulf. Not really a big deal of a system there. Just going to be more of a raining mess than anything else. But watch this. Here comes your next wave of moisture there. It's mainly snow. And it seems like I'm also been backing off with this solution here a couple of times. But there goes your low pressure system passing by Louisville and Cincinnati. And it moves really fast. You can see here maybe some severe weather on the southern side here. You can see a line of thunderstorms from Tennessee back down into Mississippi there. Just have really got to keep an eye on it. Maybe a bit of snow behind it. We'll just go ahead to see. Whoops. Did not mean to do that. And it passes by there. And I'm not going to show you the snowfall amounts again, but like I said, the GFS is an unlikely solution to this here. It's just not been doing great for the past couple of times. But we'll look into the CMC because honestly, I think the CMC is better than the GFS here. But it does have I believe it has a similar solution here. But it's kind of between the models. So there you go. There goes your first wave. And it seems like the CMC wants to bring it up actually the very similar path to it. You can see there it's by Louisville and Cincinnati. And it passes by. Seems like not much of a way of severe weather threat type of look here. The system is weaker. Let's take a look into the snowfall amounts. So for the total snowfall, if it can load. Hopefully it can. Oh. How's your all day been going? Hopefully you guys have been having a good day. So as you can see here, you can see here about the winter storm path is pretty far up north. But you can also see here, there's going to be a wave of moisture before all this here happens here. Like if I go back here to European model here, I forgot to say this here. This is a whole complete different system here before all this stuff here happens. This is Sunday. The system is supposed to develop like in the same time frame, but it's all the way back here. You can see here the highest amounts back in Missouri. It's what the CMC is kind of showing as well for the snowfall amounts. This is kind of a little bit of an accurate look at snowfall total-wise, but not really much in the way of placement. I'm expecting this to go a little bit further down south here, and I'll show you guys that now. Here we go. I'll show you guys that map in a moment. But this is Sunday here. Not Sunday, Monday. So this is the Monday look here. You can see the blue there. That's the winter storm threat. If you want to know where the low pressure, where I'm expecting to go by, it's kind of around in this green here. That's where I'm expecting for the low pressure to go by. You see the red there, severe weather threat. I'll show you guys by 5 days. Show you some severe weather part of the video in a moment. You can see in the dark green here, it's wet and stormy. Maybe in some strong storms as well. In the dark green, you can see here it's just mainly wet. In the light green, snowfall amounts, however, what am I predicting for snowfall amounts? Generally, probably 3 to 5 inches. Could see up to 6 or 7 inches of snow in a few spots there in the blue. There's just some uncertainties growing with this system here. I don't have really much else to say about this. Well, let's go ahead and move on to the severe weather. So here is day 5 here. The SPC did issue the 15% area. I'll show you guys that in a moment. I do not have it in my tabs. I just realized that. But day 5, I have a 50% chance for damaging winds. Tornadoes is max like risk at 5%. Yeah, the damage winds is at max 15%. Large hail is a marginal with a 5% there. So my main threats are looking to be damaging winds and maybe a couple of tornadoes. The large hail threat maybe able to stay off of this slight risk area here. It could be a little bit further up north because when you get the colder air aloft, they're still sticking around. That can really create some decent storms up here as well. So, but yeah, there's like day 5 there. I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys the SPC outlook, what they have, very quickly. So there's today just some general thunderstorm risk in the southeast and even the northwest. Day 2, which is tomorrow, margin of risk for parts of the southeast. General thunderstorms up in the northwest. Day 3, general thunderstorms southwest again. Now day 4, predictably too low, and here's day 5 here. As you can see here, it's a little bit further to the west here than what I have predicted. And it's also, my prediction is actually a little bit further south. Now keep in mind, why did they do that? Keep in mind that they were looking on that's on the 0Z run, and I'm looking on the 12Z run. So just to keep in mind, so I'm likely going to see this change tomorrow. Their next update with the 4 to 8 day outlook is going to be later tonight. It's going to be about 1 o'clock in the morning, so I'm not going to stay up for that. I got school tomorrow. But yeah, there's your severe weather outlook. See here. See here. They don't really say the exact risks or anything. They just talk about the ingredients here. But I'm pretty sure that it's mainly for damage to winds and a tornado threat. I could see a hail threat with this as well, especially when you have that cold air aloft, especially when you go further up north, when the warm front is just passing. You still have that cold air aloft, and you got that warm air going below it. When those clouds can reach up there, it can create some decent hail, at least for some small hail. And one of the big things to keep an eye on is the dew points, especially when you go up north like Tennessee and Kentucky. Kentucky is really going to be in question here. It really depends where the placement of the low pressure is. If it's going to be like the European model, you're not really going to see a severe weather threat. Or what the GFSC is showing, it's going along the Ohio River. Then parts of Kentucky does have a severe weather chance here. When the warm front passes, you'll see dew points probably in the 50s, near 60 up there. But if you're in like Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia, Louisiana, you're going to have 60 dews there. And it's pretty decent. You can see those 60 dews, which is in the blue. It's just about in Kentucky, but it's not. You need 60 dews for some thunderstorms and severe weather. But I think 50 dews can do it. You can see here about the lifting index here. It's actually a -3, which is not too shabby there. We'll take a look into the surface-based vorticity. This is kind of some of the rotation. And you can see here, that's a pretty decent line of vorticity there. You can also see here, these black lines indicate CAPE. So you can see here, it's not high at all, by any means. But we'll take a look into the CAPE, we'll take a look into the helicity, and the supercell composite. And I'm going to let you guys know the mid-level lap rates are actually decent up north, talking about lap rates near 7. But the low-level lap rates, there's not really much of any low-level lap rates at all. And the helicity is pretty high, too. You can see the GFS, it looks to be backed off with the K values up north. But you can see here, when you get into the blue, that's over 1,000. And these black, this grayish lines here indicate sign in, which if you want severe weather, that's something you don't really want there. But we'll take a look into 180 millibar CAPE along with shear. So here it comes. So this is up in the atmosphere. As you can see here, we actually have some decent lap rates. It's actually pretty widespread too. You can see here if you go back in Texas and Arkansas, K value is 1300. That's enough for severe weather. So the big players is going to be the Cape and the dew points. Both of those are pretty important. In the lifting index, however, you need to be in negatives to at least have somewhat thunderstorm or severe weather chance. And -1 is not really strong at all, but if you get to like -3, -4, it's decent. See there, it doesn't really, so I don't really know what to say about that. The supercell composite, this is something that everyone wants to see pretty much. So here's your supercell composite values. It's actually pretty good back in Mississippi there, at least a chance for some supercells. Now, the European model suggestion does suggest for potential for supercells across parts of Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, and Georgia. Just to keep in mind of that. I got that from a James Spann video this morning. You can see there it shows a tornado threat. You got some good Cape there, about 1500, which is enough. Supercell sounding analog. I will say it won't be significant, really. If you look up over here, you can see here there is a chance for an EF0 and an EF1 there. So maybe at least an EF0, EF1, maybe an EF2 there is possible in the area. Now, this is not a forecast by any means. It's just possible here. It's possible to happen, but not in the exact area, exact pinpoint of where you are. I mean, it shows it as a forecast sounding in the exact pinpoint, but it's just kind of in the area, probably pretty widespread here. We have a decent amount of shear there as well, so that kind of indicates that there's a little bit of a rotating atmosphere there. You got the Cape, so there's at least a chance for supercells to develop, and also expecting probably a squall line of strong and severe thunderstorms as well. That's what brings in the damaging wind threat, maybe some small hail, and some spin-ups as well. I think the last thing we'll take a look into is the helicity. And keep in mind, there's going to be a lot of shear in place. But here's your helicity. Your highest helicity values will be up north, like Tennessee and Kentucky. In these yellowish areas, that's between 250 and 350, so that's enough. Typically, you probably need probably about above 150 or so for helicity. There. So I think that's all I got for you guys today. Hopefully you guys enjoy this winter storm threat update, severe weather update. If y'all did like this video, hit that like button. If you really do like my channel, hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification so you never miss an upload. If y'all guys got any questions about this, you can put a comment section down below. I answer you guys' questions. I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.